Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's the pressure just doesn't seem to end. It never seems to end. We have 5 more matches to go in the Premier League, one and potentially two in the Champions League. You have Liverpool breathing all on us. Liverpool had an easy game against Villarreal. I mean, when Bayern Munich was knocked out, I was like, I was happy for Villarreal because, okay, small team and it's going further in the Champions League. That's fine, but this season is it's different. And when Bayern Munich got knocked out, I was like, why Villarreal? Why did you do that? Because Bayern against Liverpool would have been fascinating. High line, fast forward, Sane, Coman, Lewandowski on both sides, and more than that, more than the nature of the game, if Bayern had qualified ahead of Villarreal, played Liverpool, it would be a bit more tiring for Liverpool, playing Bayern, Newcastle, and then again Bayern Munich. It won't be so easy. So it would have been a bit more testing. But you see Liverpool, easy against Benfica, whereas we had a really tough fixture against Atletico Madrid. And honestly, that Atletico Madrid fixture has got Kyle Walker injured. I mean, a lot of the players took a lot of physical beating in that game. So it's been. I don't want to be a fan who throws in excuses, but then. In reality, Liverpool have had a much easier fixture run in from February, whereas at every step we have had to suffer, and at every step we have had to suffer, keeping in mind that you cannot have a misstep. You cannot do something wrong. One mistake, and by this time next week, we could very well be out of the Premier League title race, could very well be knocked out of the Champions League, and the season could be over. That is it's almost like we are walking on a razor sharp blade. You can't make, honestly, no mistake is allowed. And I was just browsing through our list of games. We have Leeds away, and we'll talk about that Leeds game now. We can see the predicted lineup as well. Leeds away, Real Madrid away, Newcastle at home, Wolves away, and then West Ham away, and then Aston Villa at home. And Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa, he slipped, we won the title. That narrative is also going to come. So all of these potential 6 games are like banana skin games for us. I mean, at this stage, I do think that tactics and everything go out of the window. At this stage, I think it's all about, mentality. It's all about personality. But let's talk about this Leeds game first. On and all, we take one game at a time and move on. That Leeds game. And by the way, I have to say this. I have to get it out of my head. That Real Madrid. I know I did a video on that, but that Real Madrid game is still stinging. That defeat, I mean, it's a victory, but it feels like a defeat. That victory against Real Madrid is still paining me. Only one goal advantage, which should have honestly blown Real Madrid away. But anyway, let's talk about this Leeds game now. I mean, Leeds are fighting for relegation. Leeds are not the Marcelo Bielsa Leeds, where you're like, if you're out of form, you just go there, they play a high line, they press you, you ping a ball over the top, you get a couple of counter attacks. It's not a 7-0 game that we had against Leeds, I think in December or January, where we defeated them 7-0. It's not going to be that kind of a game. I've just browsed through the last 3 results of Leeds, and what Leeds have, I think, defeated Wolves. Leeds have drawn with Crystal Palace. Yes, they've lost to Aston Villa, but they've had really good results, last 4 results. So this Leeds is solid. This Leeds is fighting for scraps. This Leeds team is, defensively. I mean, it will be a very cagey affair for me, and this is it. All of the teams we play from now on, except Newcastle maybe, are all teams that if you don't get an early goal, the anxiety gets in. It's not that we can't break a low block, but literally I'm seeing, against Brighton, it was at the Etihad Stadium, 30 minutes gone, 40 minutes gone, just 30 minutes gone in the game. The stadium just seemed anxious. There was an air of, frustration in the stadium, and when that kind of a feeling is there, it really gets to the players. You really feel that, you really feel disappointed. So that is my worry. When the crowd are behind the team, we can do anything, but if you're not getting an early goal, there's that sense of frustration that is setting in, anxiousness. And I don't know, because right now, the games will be played in the mind of players. It will all be about can we do this? Okay, Liverpool have won. They made their move. We can't afford to slip up here. We have to give that extra 100%, extra 10%, extra 15%, and you kick up. You take a heavy touch. You kick a ball higher than it should have gone. You don't make the necessary contact, and all of the things like that. Even Ederson is seeming a bit flustered. But anyway, let's see the lineup. There's an interesting one in the lineup if you can see on your screen. Nathan Ake is in there. First, the right back, we don't have Kyle Walker, is injured and is still not back. I do hope Walker is back for the Madrid tie. But you have Cancelo. There's no question. We don't have any other right back, so he's going to play there. Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz. Stones is gone. Stones is injured as well. Pep has not or confirmed the extent of his injury, but it doesn't seem good actually. Stones was banging form. I'm like, even if Stones is there, Vinicius doesn't score that goal. Maybe we don't concede that penalty to Benzema. The effect of Vinicius would have just been shut down that side if John Stones was there. So Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, and Nathan Ake. People can say here that Zinchenko has had an excellent game against Madrid. His controlled Rodrigo absolutely well. He had an excellent game against Watford as well. Then why the hell are you starting Ake? Because Leeds will look to play on the counter now. And who's on that side? It's one of the most informed, most wanted wingers in Rafinha. So Rafinha against Zinchenko, I don't fancy Rafinha against Zinchenko. I think nothing. We need solidity defensively over there, but then this is again a double-edged sword. If Zinchenko doesn't play, Leeds will park the bus. So I don't think. If only Ake plays at left back, then we lose that attacking sense. Ake is not the fullback who provides you with. Ake is absolutely useless other than defensive things. I'm very sorry to say that, but I'll have to be this. Against part the bus teams, you struggled whenever we have played Ake there. So it's again a selection choice. So do you want to risk yourself with the counter attack against Rafinha? Then you play Ake or you play Zinchenko. Sumant is here. Sumant says, I rest Laporte and bring Zinchenko at left back and Ake at centre back. There's another problem in that Sumant. Ake at centre back, but the problem is Zinchenko at left back. I don't trust him again going 1-on-1 against Rafinha. Leeds are like, if you see the past game especially, they like to counter with Rafinha, Jack Harrison down the wings. Especially every time they want to go into Rafinha. And one-on-ones, I think Ake is one of the best defenders in world football, I would say. He'll be in top 3. People underestimate him, but Ake is not a good ball-playing centre-back and all. He's decent on the ball, not as good according to City standards, but one-on-one, Ake is excellent. So that's why I want this matchup between Ake and Rafinha, because at this stage no mistakes are allowed. So but attacking wise Zinchenko, defensive wise Ake, and Leeds are a team that sit back and want to hit you on the counter. So I'm really confused here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you would do if you were in Pep's place. Would you play Ake and just secure that side and tell your players that we'll attack from Cancelo's side anyway? So let us just secure Ake and close off Rafinha and the counter attacks. Or do you say no, they're parking the bus, they're fighting for scraps. I want my attacks from both the flanks. I want my wingers like Foden to go in, Grealish and Sterling to go in. So I would play Zinchenko as well, and I want them to provide the width. I don't know. If you're Pep, what will you do? But and also another thing is, against Real Madrid, maybe I think I would want to play Ake more than Zinchenko over there. Okay, Cancelo will be back for the tie, right back, but left back, maybe I would play Ake over there and close off that side. Rodrigo is a good attacker as well, so even that could be in the back of the mind of Pep. So this is very testing time. We don't have enough players. We don't know the extent of Stones' injury. We don't know when Walker will come back. And on top of that, that pressure of Liverpool winning the quadruple. It's just so much at stake here, so much at stake. Is Ake fully fit? That's another question, If Ake was fully fit, I don't know why he didn't start at right back against Real Madrid. Okay, Ake is not a right back, but Ake is a centre back by nature, right? Ake would definitely be better than Fernandinho there, right? So I think Ake is not fit. He's just in the bench, just that if we needed him in, I mean, in the worst case scenario, maybe Pep thought that he'll bring him in. No, Ake is not fully fit. I think, I don't know. Pep has told that he will see. It's interesting. Who do you play in that Real Madrid tie at left back, and who do you play here at left back? You would say that Zinchenko will play in the Real Madrid tie as well at left back, but I think at Bernabeu it's actually a bit more risky because Zinchenko had an excellent game on Real Madrid. But if you see that Benzema's first goal, by the way, the XG for that Benzema's first goal was 0.000029. That means every 1 in 29 chances of such a cross go for goal. So if Ake was there, I don't think Benzema scores because Benzema put his body across Zinchenko, and then Zinchenko is not as physically, he can't match Benzema. So and then Benzema scores that. So I do think that Ake would not have allowed that goal to happen at left back. So I do think, who do you play at that Real Madrid tie? Do you want Zinchenko or do you want Ake? Depending on that, I think either Zinchenko or Ake will play against Leeds. I would actually play Ake against Leeds and maybe Zinchenko against Real Madrid. I'm in confusion actually. It's one of the two. You play one here, one there. And the defense is very well sorted out. I think the midfield is De Bruyne. You have to play De Bruyne to unlock Leeds, otherwise it's going to be difficult. So it's De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. Again, the thing with Gundogan is there have been reports coming before a week as well that Gundogan was having back issues right from the middle of last season. His back's been hurting. That's why he's not been able to make as many consistent appearances, and he hasn't been able to show consistency in his attacking play and stuff. So that's been the report for Gundogan. And also even yesterday, from some sources, I would not say that credible, but some sources are saying that this could be Gundogan's last season in City, are actively out in the market now looking for Fernandinho's and Gundogan's replacement. So that's a news, but we don't know whether we can confirm that or not. So I think Gundogan plays this because Bernardo Silva needs a rest. He was outstanding. He was impeccable. He was all over the pitch. Seeing Bernardo Silva run about the pitch, I think it reminds me of Nigel de Jong. Nigel de Jong was considered as the player he played for City as well. Especially when he was at AC Milan, Nigel de Jong was considered as a player with the best engine in the world. And I see that kind of engine, that kind of strength, stamina, and Bernardo Silva. So Bernardo Silva can't play Madrid, Leeds, Madrid. And we would need him potentially against Newcastle as well. So out of these 4 games, I think you rest him here. So Bernardo gets a rest, Gundogan plays here. And also I think Gundogan makes those little runs down the corners of centre backs and stuff. So Gundogan might be more useful here than against Madrid. I think in the attacking, this thing, you have got to give Phil Foden a rest. Again, Foden. Which matches does he play? He has to play Madrid, he has to play Newcastle. I think potentially he has to play all the other games of the season. Wolves away, West Ham away, Aston Villa at home. Nothing is going to be easy. So potentially you rest Foden, you rest Bernardo Silva, knowing the fact that they'll play the rest of all the games in the season. So Foden will be rested, and Grealish gets that place. And you can see on the right wing I've gone with Sterling. Yes, against Parthabus teams, I've been critical on Pep about this. Against Parthabus teams, Raheem Sterling offers you that something different. He might not be the best finisher. Sterling might not be the best finisher, but I'll tell you, Sumant is telling Mahrez over Sterling. Please, I'll tell you why I haven't gone for Mahrez. There are 2 reasons here. But Sterling, I think, offers you something different with that pace, with that directness, with that ability to get into goal-scoring positions. It's a shame that he cannot finish. But against Parthabus teams, he just disturbs the defense. So I do think Sterling is there. And likewise with Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez is not that quick as Sterling, first point. But the second important point is, again, you really want to play Mahrez against Real Madrid. Down that side, Ferland Mendy was just scratching his head. Ferland Mendy was shit scared down that left-hand side for Real Madrid when facing Riyad Mahrez. Mahrez was just skipping on. I think Mahrez skipped past Ferland Mendy down that side for the first goal. Then he skipped past him and went one-on-one, and he hit the post. I think on another attempt as well, Mahrez skipped past Ferland Mendy 3 times. Mahrez should have had a hat-trick in that Madrid game. And also in Champions League knockout games, you remember last season against Dortmund, against PSG, every time Riyad Mahrez scores, so you potentially want Riyad Mahrez to play in that Champions League game against Madrid. So again, where does Pep rest Riyad Mahrez? Potentially this game, because he has to play Madrid, he has to play Newcastle at home, will be very tough than what people can imagine. Wolves away, West Ham away, all tough games potentially. Aston Villa at home. So Mahrez, I think, has to play the majority of those games and is definitely starting that Madrid game. So Sterling has to play here, I think. You would not want Sterling to play that Madrid game, right? Already we have missed so many chances, and the blunders made by Raheem Sterling in knockout games. No, that is all a nightmare for all of us City fans, we know. He was responsible for us getting knocked out against Lyon, I think, in that 2020 season or something. So, I think Sterling has been responsible for this title race coming till here. Missed an open goal against Southampton. Missed an open goal potentially in another match as well. So it's literally 4-5 points Sterling has cost us. So Mahrez plays in the Madrid game for me. I think Pep is planning for the future with this game, I think. He's planning for the future 5 games with this game. So whoever mostly plays here will not be involved, especially in the front 3, I'm telling, will not be involved in the next 4-5 games, because they are going to be the toughest. And Gabriel Jesus is an interesting thing for me. Pep said something interesting about Kyle Walker and Gabriel Jesus as well. What he said was, both of them, he said it about Cancelo as well. He said that all the 3 of them do not need much rest. They can play game after game after game after game. So, and Gabriel Jesus is someone that, if he's on form, he can be more brutal and ruthless than a Karim Benzema at his absolute peak, but he's not off form. He can be even worse than a Raheem Sterling out of form. I mean, Gabriel Jesus can hit and miss an open goal, and then he can turn someone like a David Alaba inside out and score a goal. You can see the 2 contrasts. For the second goal, Gabriel Jesus almost turned David Alaba inside out, who's considered one of the best centre backs. But then we have seen Gabriel Jesus miss open chances. So play Gabriel Jesus, play Gabriel Jesus. I don't know what Pep did, but Gabriel Jesus has come back to form at the right moment. When he's in form, I think he's one of the sharpest in the Premier League. The problem for us is he's not in form as much. So I'll play Gabriel Jesus as the striker, and I don't think we have any alternative over there as well. Foden is rested. You can't play Gundogan as a false 9, obviously. I don't think there's another alternative other than playing Gabriel Jesus over there. And also Jack Grealish is interesting for me. Jack Grealish has to get back into form. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for us. Especially, just imagine in this back end of the season, Jesus comes back into form. I mean, Jesus is back in form, right? Gabriel Jesus comes back into form. Grealish comes back into form. It will just be wonderful for us. It will just be wonderful. Anyway, I hope that we score an early goal. Otherwise, the match will be cagey. The match will really be full of us playing it on a pressure cauldron, you would say. And we never know when the pressure bubble can burst. But anyway, Liverpool play first. That can either put more pressure on you or relieve pressure from you. You never know. But anyway, just let me know your predictions down below in the comments. And see you all again. Take care. See you all for the live.